Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. How's it going? Hey, how's everybody doing this morning? Good morning. Welcome. You like lilacs? I like all the pretty flowers. Oh, thank you. I wash my hair sometimes. Yeah. Uh, I appreciate that. Yeah, good morning. If you haven't been here before, this is the Queen of Ohio, and I'm the Queen. Um, Welcome. We are all adults here and we act as such. Everybody's opinions welcome. If you're watching the replay, please leave a comment down below. If this is your first time, I encourage you to subscribe. It is absolutely free. You're never charged for anything here. And please, everybody, like and comment and do all the YouTube-y things. And I really appreciate it. So, sunflowers act like a sunflower. If you've checked out my IG, I have been posting pics of my sunflowers as if I am a new mother. And I will continue to throughout the summer. Every time I get a new sunflower bloom, it as if I have just birthed a child. Okay. And I will tell you, I went to a meeting the other night, and everybody was like sharing pictures of, different things. And this woman was showing me everything that are my eyebrows uneven. I have to paint them on because y'all have seen me, without any eyebrows the other day. Anyway, the woman was showing pictures of everything that she had put up from her garden. Oh my goodness, it was so impressive. Like, she had just shelves and shelves of canned stuff that she had canned. Like, she had tomato sauce, barbecue sauce is what I meant to say, but she had, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, tomatoes, pickles, like she had all the things. And then I told this other woman, I was like, 2 of my sunflowers have bloomed. I have 3 sunflower blooms at my house. And her face, just like lit up. And she was just as excited as I was. And she was like, I have a sunflower that bloomed at my house too. And it just started a whole conversation between us. And the ITT department says, allegedly, I'm an adult. Yeah, well, you're the most adult person at our house. MTT says, I felt that way at the beginning of the summer when my flowers were all blooming. Now they look horrid and it's embarrassing. Good morning, Sarah. Thank you. Y'all are so sweet. Y'all are really, really encouraging. Yeah, so it just opened up a whole conversation, and it just got me thinking, like, who doesn't like sunflowers? Well, apparently MTT doesn't. She said sunflowers suck. She likes lilacs. No, I'm just kidding, MTT. I'm just teasing with you. But, sunflowers bring such happiness and, just smiles. Good morning, SM. Good morning. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Y'all are so sweet. So yeah, like, who, just when you see sunflowers, it just generally just brings a smile to your face, right? MTT says, ruined my raised garden bed because there was a wasp nest in it. Can't eat the veggies now because of the spray I used to kill the boogers. Well, let me tell you, my friend had like some beautiful sunflowers going, and they were like so tall, and she got something, some bugs, was getting a hold of them and eating them, and she messed up and used pesticides on them, and they killed them. And then she had to pull them out of her garden, and she about didn't get them pulled out, I guess, from what she was saying, because to find out, and my friend was explaining this to me at the beginning of the season when I was telling her I was going to plant sunflowers, because I've been so excited about this. Good morning, Eileen. Eileen's Basic Chicken. I have questions. But yeah, so good morning, Cosmic Crazy. Good morning. So when I was telling my friend, who happens to be homesteading out in Missouri, bless her heart, with 2 small children, I was telling her, I was like, I'm going to plant sunflowers this year. She was like asking me all these questions, and I was like, girl, I don't know. I was just going to like throw some sunflower seeds in the ground. And she was like, oh, there's like all these different kinds. And then she was like, I was telling her, I was like, they don't seem to be popping up out of the ground. And she was explaining to me like the root system of the sunflowers. And she was saying, don't get discouraged because they implant, the roots really deep first, and was just like going into great detail about the root system of the sunflowers and all of this, and so apparently she has like really educated herself on the roots of the sunflowers and stuff. Eileen says a friend had chickens. MTTGB said that they were basic chickens. Oh, kind of like a basic white girl or a basic bee. Basic chickens, like not one of those fancy, expensive chickens. As long as they gave me eggs, I wouldn't really care. I mean, when I go to the Popeyes, I don't ask them, can I get a spicy chicken, one of them fancy spicy chickens. Don't be feeding me no basic chicken. Well, consider the source. So I'm sure some of you have read memes or whatever about how, and this right here proves you can't believe everything you read off the internet, but how, sunflowers face towards the sun, and then if there's no fried chicken for dinner, it sounds great. From Popeyes, Bojangles, KFC. You let me know, ITT. So I had read previously that and this had just touched my little heart, that if sunflowers face the sun, but that if there's no sun, the sunflowers turn towards each other. They just turn towards each other. Isn't that beautiful? So that was going to be what I shared with y'all. And then something told me, I was like, I probably should Google that and make sure that is correct. So when I got out of the shower, which all of y'all have noticed, and I really appreciate that I showered and washed my hair today for y'all. This is true. It is not true. It is not true. Okay. That is a Facebook and internet myth. The sunflowers do not face each other. They do face each other, but it's more of like just an energy thing or a coincidental thing. It's really just a kind of a cosmic thing, because they face east towards the sun, and then they just kind of, rotate through the day. So if there's no sun, they just turn. It's not necessarily that they're turning towards each other. And some types of sunflowers don't turn at all. And some of the older, I guess, sunflowers are just set in their ways and they just don't turn. So that is just absolutely just something, one of those cute little memes. Scroll up. you're buying ITT, one drum for each person. Could these be vanilla chickens? This is true. Love me some chicken tenders. My dad feeds the birds every day, and he has a sunflower seed feeder. And from the birds knocking out the seed last year, we had 4 big sunflowers in my front of my yard. Oh, I love that. ITT, what am I supposed to be scrolling up for? I already said the fried chicken for dinner. Yeah, so are you wanting me to scroll up to say that this is true? Are you disputing me? Would you like to come up and give your... Is the ITTT department now turning into agriculture? I can't say the word. Never mind. I would hate to have to get one of the mods to kick another mod out this morning, but I will. You give somebody a wrench and they just... So, I mean, if it makes everyone happier to believe that they turn to each other when there's no sun, but... I don't know. I was just saying I Googled it. I Googled it to make sure I was passing on correct information, and that's what I came up with. So I don't know. Like I tell everybody, I don't know why Angela is messaging me instead. I think I forgot to tell her I was going live. I can't boot myself out. I tried. Do you need help? If you need help, we can get someone to assist you. I'm pretty sure that you're supposed to be working. So there's that. But anyway, that was what my story was going to be until I tried to give y'all accurate information. But if the ITT department is disputing what I say, then we'll go back to the original story. But again, like I always say, do your own research, because I'm not really a reliable source of information. I'm not TMZ. TMZ is the most reliable source of information, or a mom's Facebook group. If it's for medical advice, I always recommend going to a mother's Facebook page, because they give the best medical advice. Be right back. Got a phone call. I hope it's not the FBI, MTT. I hope it's not the FBI. Mods can't boot mods out. Welcome, Sarah. Oh, God. How did the ITT department show up? Devices not connected. I don't know. The ITT department is stalking me, y'all. YouTube is the best place for medical advice, Sarah says. Yes, absolutely. And advice for your credit report. I mean, really, I've been taken over. Tell us, ITT, what do you know about sunflowers?
I know how to plant them.
Yes, you do.
That's about it.
What was you wanting me to scroll up for?
It had nothing to do with sunflowers.
Oh, which comment was it?
It don't matter now.
Oh, the chicken?
No,
I thought I seen a
Mother
bill.
Teresa, Mother Teresa said I was buying, and I said, "This is true."
Yes, yes. The ITT department is the silent partner and the financial backer of everything we do. We decided that the other day. Yes. And he's very happy to do so.
Very.
Yes, yes. ITT is invading. Yes, yes, he's taken over. He's taken over. I believe after this, I will be calling to get those people to come out to check my service. I've heard it's $75 an hour and then 25 cents a page. So, yeah, I'll be having those services. I don't know who it's through. I don't know if it's Geek Squad or I don't know. I hear you can go online and do it. I don't know if they come out to your home or I just know you need a credit card. ITT is the best co-host ever. Another fan.
That's
Another fan. You give him that good loving and he brings the money home. Well, I try. I don't know if it's the good loving or the cooking. Oh,
See, I am working.
that's a very depressing looking work environment you have there.
It is.
You need a plant or a sunflower or something. That's dangerous and sad looking. They have you in a basement?
Yeah, basically.
Can you request an office with like a window or something?
No windows, but an office. We're working on it.
Maybe. That's sad. That's sad.
Here with all my friends once again.
It's better that way if they just keep you away from the other people.
Yeah.
I believe that. You don't really play well with others.
Nope. All right. I guess I'll stop invading the broadcast.
Well, I mean, the ladies seem to like it. The ladies seem to like it. I don't know. Angela was messaging YouTube. Angela was messaging me on Facebook, but I don't know if she's going to join us or not. She's probably out mowing the grass.
You can't mow your grass that much.
She has acreage and a push mower.
Well, that sucks. Maybe we should get a GoFundMe for a mower.
I'm like really debating it. She had a rod and lawn mower, and I could be wrong, but I think someone stole it at some point. I could be wrong with this story, but I'm thinking that's what happened. Sarah says they knew what they were doing with putting him in the windowless basement alone. Probably.
I agree.
I think so. He's allowed to roam around the property here, so it's probably enough freedom for him.
It is. Damn it.
Oh, well. I second the chicken for dinner, though, so stop and get a bucket on your way home.
Okay.
It's a good idea. I like that. Make sure you don't get that basic chicken, though. We tell them we'd like the fancy chicken.
It's a fancy.
The fancy chicken legs.
You know they're just going to look at me funny when I ask that.
Oh, that's okay. They never like it when I ask for all legs either. It always seems to be an issue.
Oh, I don't care. I'll wait for them. I tell them I got all the time in the world.
I tell them I'll wait too, please. Sarah says if you say please. I say please too. And I say I don't mind waiting. And then the last time I said, well, if I'm willing to wait, can you not cook chicken legs? Because they said I was going to have to wait anyway, but then they still couldn't give me legs.
They didn't want to.
They didn't want to. But I think finally they were like, just give the lady legs so she'll go away.
Basically.
And I was like, I'll even pay extra. And then I was like, I'm not sure why I'm paying extra for dark meat when you're only supposed to pay extra for breasts, but
Yes,
The
you have
plant-
to. Generally
the-
in life, you have to pay extra for that.
you have to pay extra for dark meat?
Nope, for the breasts.
Yeah, right. But I wasn't asking for breast. I was asking for all dark. All legs.
That was a joke.
Oh.
Nobody got
Uh-huh.
it. I'm getting old.
Well, it's a group of women, so we ain't paying extra for breasts.
You don't know that. Y'all talking about all the panties and stuff the other day. You don't know.
Oh, let me tell y'all. When he got home, he was like, "What did I come into?" I said, "I promise the first part of it was really touching. It was really serious and touching. And then it got trashy with the panties." I like to be motivational in the beginning. And then we talk about underwears. Hey, MTT, was that the FBI girl? I don't even know what they have in Canada, but good morning, trucker. We're just talking about paying extra for the breasts. Paying extra for the breast and how you shouldn't have to pay extra for legs. But welcome. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Do all the YouTube things. It's absolutely free here on YouTube. You'll never be charged. I do hope your phone call went good, MTT. But just out of curiosity, what is the FBI called in Canada? Or it's what is the police called in Canada? Is it called the police or called the Mounties? What is the popo called in Canada? Anyone?
Royal Canadian something mounted police.
Yes. Oh, Sarah's getting ugly already. She likes to get very aggressive with the subs about doing the YouTube things. She says, like the video, darn it, and make sure you are subscribed.
Maybe she needs to come up on panel. We can get a soapbox. She can just preach.
She mods for a few channels, and she gets very aggressive, but it seems to work.
Scare them into subscribing.
She scares them into doing whatever she wants. So I don't know what her job is exactly, but if she's a bill collector or something like that, I bet she's really good at it. Because
bill collector for the mob.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Carries around a baseball bat.
I don't know. It works. They love it. Yes, they do. I love it too, Sarah. I love it too. Yeah. Y'all ring that bell or I'm sending Sarah.
Be like 5'2", carrying a big baseball bat. Pay your money. You scare the crap out of people.
She said there is no mob. There's no mob.
Probably.
Oh, don't say the word mob because they like to say that some of the YouTube channels have a mob mentality. So we don't want to say mob. Maybe a nice little cartel or mafia or, but no mob. I like to be a free thinker. I like to think for myself, but wouldn't mind a little of that cartel money, but easy come money is easy go money. That's true. Easy come, easy go. Generally. They have a cult-like mob mentality on YouTube. Scary. Oh, speaking of the YouTube, there is this YouTube channel that I have been watching, and it is so nice. And I don't have my handy dandy notebook up here, but I did see another subscriber from here in there. And I had never mentioned that I watched it, and it was so funny because they said hello to me, and I was like, hello, and then they were like, it's me, and I was like, oh. I did, because it was kind of a common name and a picture, so I was just like, oh, Cosmic says we always listen to Sarah and keep us under control. Yes, we need someone to try to keep us under control. But I believe it's in, if one of the mods will like try to look this up so they can drop the link in the chat if you want to. If you want to, you don't have to, because I mean, you're not employees or anything. What is it that GB said? What'd she say? Mods, friends, employee. I don't know. She said something that was actually funny when she did that parody. But anyway, it's FDDR, I believe, FDDR, and it's out of Detroit, and it's a bus that goes through Detroit 6 days a week, and they are a bus, and they deliver food to the homeless on the streets of Detroit, and it's, yes, FDDR.org. Love you. And it's this man and woman that are in the bus. It's in the bus, and I've been watching them. It's on every afternoon. They run it completely on donations. Yes, Feeding Detroit. I don't know how long they've been doing this. I would imagine a long time. They know these people. So they see the same people. Like this guy, the other day, showed them a picture of his kid that was just born, and the woman was like, "Oh my gosh, has it been 9 months already?" They pass out clothes on Wednesday, but they give them a meal and water and snacks and clothing, tents, whatever they can. And it's nice to watch for a few minutes. It's a nice break from the drama. Hi, Pindar. Am I saying that right? Hi, all. Yes, I love these people on the bus. You watch it. Yes. I don't know. I just came across it. I like to kind of go through whatever's live and just find new channels and stuff. And I love people that are doing good things. And because, that's what I want to promote is ordinary people doing extraordinary things out in the world. And they are just, oh my goodness, I would love to be able to do something like that, or to volunteer with people that are doing something like that. We have in Huntsville something called Sharon Rose's Kitchen, and they are open, and they it's kind of like a soup kitchen. They serve people 7 days a week, I believe. But yeah, this whole bus idea where they go out to where the homeless people are, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. And I said the name correctly. Wonderful. It's amazing. So if you have some downtime this afternoon, please check it out and give their channel some traffic, because, that gives them a little bit more money if they're making money from their YouTube channel, right? Because they're monetized. And so the more traffic they get, the more people will see their channel, and that, gives them some revenue. And I would love more positive people doing positive things to get, to get the word out. Even if you can't donate, that's giving them some traction on YouTube and getting them out there. Cosmic Crazy says, I would so join you doing this. Sounds so fun and rewarding. Yeah, it's great. As you all know, if y'all have listened know that I do Lasagna Love and lasagналove.org. And even if you can't make lasagnas, there's volunteer opportunities on there that you can do online from your computer. And you can check that out on lasagналove.org. and it's a really flexible opportunity, but you can do outreach or administrative duties, or there's all kinds of things. You don't have to make lasagnas, because I know a lot of people that's not their thing and stuff. So if you want to volunteer and you think maybe you can't, or you can't think of something that would work out with your schedule or something, get with somebody and brainstorm. Or there are actually apps and organizations that can help you find something in your area that may fit with you. I know right now with school starting back, reading programs, reading buddies are always really good. And now that the pandemic's over, I know they're allowing volunteers back in the school. I contacted the school closest to us about being a reading buddy, because I love to read out loud. It gets on the ITT department's nerves, because I like to read stuff out loud to him. And he's like, I can read. But so in a lot of times your company will do corporate sponsored volunteer hours. Well, they'll give you credit. So that's also something to check into if you work. So it never hurts to ask, because the worst thing that they can say is no, right? So ask your company about that, ask your boss about that. But if you don't work, just call your local school and ask them, if they have a reading buddy program, and you can go like an hour a week on your lunch break or whatever time, is good for you, and help a kid with their reading, or read to a class for the librarian or for the teacher, or, if that's not your thing, you can make copies for a teacher. I've done all kinds of things when my kids were little, and still, would allow their parent to come to their school. Now my kids are older, and of course don't want me anywhere near them or their school. So Cosmic Crazy said, I subbed. I'm sure I will also enjoy this also. Thanks for the link. You are welcome. You're welcome. And if any of you, have any websites that are doing good things, or that you enjoy and y'all ever want to share, please send me a message. I'm on IG. My email is queenofohara@gmail.com. All my information is in my about here on YouTube, and you're welcome to reach out to me anytime. I love hearing from you guys. I do. A lot of you reach out to me after you watch the replay, and I love hearing what you think, what y'all are into. I really enjoy it, and I always answer everybody. When people leave comments, I always try to respond, and so, I enjoy it. So I know a lot of you have been hearing on Netflix. Hey, Susan, how are you doing? Good morning. We just got done talking about sunflowers. So if you want to watch the replay and hear about that, we're doing snacks for kids on summer break that we heard to help the single moms who need help while the kids are home for summer. That's awesome. Yes. Food insecurity is a huge issue, especially during the summer. And kids never stop eating. And that is especially, an added expense for parents during the summer. And I was just speaking about that. I did an interview about Lasagna Love on a radio station down here a couple of weeks ago. And that was one of the things that we discussed was food insecurity. And I brought that up, was about summer break. And so especially, there's food insecurity everywhere. but I've noticed a lot of food insecurity down here, especially. In Nashville, there's a lot of food insecurity, and kind of off the subject, but the difference in Nashville and down here, did I understand you say you're around the Huntsville area? Yes, that's true. I live outside of Huntsville, and I'm from Nashville, and I go back and forth. I think the thing that I've noticed is that in Nashville, it's kind of like broken up, like the economic neighborhoods are kind of broke up. You know what I'm saying? Like the nice neighborhood and then, the not so nice neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? The economic, areas are kind of broke up, and you can tell the difference, as opposed to down here, you'll have like trailer, huge, just built, brand new, huge farmhouse. Trailer, brand new, huge farmhouse, or, and then like maybe a few houses that are really nice, but maybe that are, older, were built, for a while. There's not huge subdivisions like back in Nashville. The neighborhoods are, smaller. It'll be like just a street or a lot of horseshoe communities. But the food insecurity is huge, but there's like a great divide. It's a great divide down here. It's either like really, really poor or middle class. So that's just been something that I've noticed. Whereas in Nashville, you're just like very, you just kind of, it's just kind of divided. So, yeah. Is it okay that we call you Trucker? I guess we could use your name, Sick and Tired. Sick and Tired says, are you aware that Tennessee has a tax vacation on food for the whole month of August? Yes, that is what I was going to text my friend yesterday. Yes, and she texted me something else, and I got distracted. Yes, my friend made a post about that. About Tennessee being why did they decide that? Was that like because of back to school, or? But yes, I did see something about that, and I was thinking about what I could buy that wouldn't really require refrigeration, because it's about a 3-hour drive from Nashville to where I live. But I guess I could stop like right on the border and go shopping. Like Jasper, I think, is like the last Walmart that I see when I get off of 24. Cosmic Crazy says they usually eat at school twice a day, but with prices today, they can really use some help. Absolutely. I know, and your name's Chris. We just enjoy calling you Trucker. MTT says, sorry, back again. As soon as I came back, I got another call. You are busy, girl. You are busy. Yeah, I know, Cosmic Crazy. I know, like in Nashville, they were able to get some grants where a lot of the schools were able to have free lunches for all the kids. All the kids, you didn't have to apply for free lunches. Everyone ate for free. And I thought that was so awesome because no one got singled out. Everyone could eat breakfast for free. Everyone could eat lunch for free. No one got singled out. No one got singled out for free lunch. No one knew, hey, you're on free lunch, you're on reduced lunch. Also now I think it's cool because the kids just put in a number. But yeah, school lunch is really expensive now. It is really expensive. I don't remember how much it was the last time my kids bought school lunch, because like I said, it has been free in Nashville, and that's where my oldest went to school. And then of course my youngest, we have been homeschooling since 2020, and he actually, today is his first day back to school. But he is going to a private school, and so I still won't know how much school lunch is. And then I think Nashville got a continuance on the grant for the free lunch, and I could be wrong about that, but I think I did read something about that. That is truly a blessing for those kids. Yes, it is. It is truly a blessing, and I'm not sure why they're unable to do that for everybody. And want to say some schools maybe were able to provide school supplies for their kids. I think maybe, because I know last year my youngest son attended public school for 2 weeks, and and the school provided their school supplies when they started, and then they just took donations. If the parents wanted to donate anything, they had a list, and you could bring the donations and leave outside the door on a table. So, but yeah. Anything that you could do is always a blessing. And I would encourage, if you see school supplies on sale, like, buy them and just leave them at your closest school. I mean, eventually all the school supply stuff will go on clearance. And there is always somebody, and teachers always can use school supplies, because, parents buy school supplies at the beginning of the year. That stuff does not last. That does not last all year. And then parents generally don't send stuff in anymore. And teachers, don't want to ask for more stuff. So teachers spend a lot of money out of pocket. I don't know if any of you are teachers. Well, if you're a teacher, you're probably not watching this right now. But you may have daughters that are teachers, or sons, or I have several friends that are teachers that I used to work with in restaurants, and they worked their way through college, and now they're teachers. So, anything that you can do is always appreciated by someone. I noticed, I go to the Dollar Tree every week, and I noticed they had like backpacks, and I mean, they're not backpacks for like high schoolers, but for kindergarten and first, second grade, I mean, they were cute little backpacks for the smaller kids. Well, ladies, I got to skedaddle. Y'all have a blessed day. You too, sick and tired. You have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Sarah says, I'm sure a lot of kids have nothing, no supplies. Yeah, because everything is so expensive right now. And can you imagine being a parent and being like, well, we can either, buy food this week or buy school supplies? And I mean, I will tell you, them school supply lists are no joke. And to be completely honest, when I was a single mom, my coffee's cold already. When I was a single mom, I was so lucky. I had angels. I had a friend of the family, and my kids, his name was not this, but my kids called him Ray Ray. And every year he took my kids school shopping, and he would buy each of my boys 2 pairs of shoes. If you go to Carnival, you buy one, you get one half off. And every year he took my kids school shopping. And I heat my coffee up like 13 times a day. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I do too. And ITT got me the cutest thing. This was the best present ever. And it's like this coffee warmer, you know, and it lights up and put your cup on there. But and keep it on my desk. But I had to unplug it to turn my desk around to give y'all a new view. Thought I would give y'all something different to look at. But it does work. Yeah, it does. It gets really, really hot. It gets kind of too hot, to be honest. But yeah, he got it on Amazon. Yeah, it's one of the best gifts. But he got that because he makes fun of me, because he'll be like, how many times have you heated up that cup of coffee? Because I do. I'm like constantly working the microwave. It does work. Best gift. And the box it came in, I threw the box away, but I am a container person. I love boxes. I love containers. I don't know why. But the box it came in, it's a beautiful gift. It was. The box was as nice as the gift. Do y'all ever get something like that? Or you ever get a gift for somebody and you're like, this box is so nice, I want to keep the box for myself. But anyway, this special man, this wonderful man, would buy my kids 2 pairs of shoes every year for school. And then my aunt works at Walmart, and so she gets a discount, and she would generally buy my kids school supplies. My oldest one, she always did. Yeah, Sarah says she loves boxes and saves them. Yes, it's a problem. Yes, it's a problem for me too. I mean, is it really a problem, or you're just, setting yourself up for later on? But yeah, so I mean, that's why people are like, that's why I just always try to do for others, because I just feel like I've been so blessed by people doing for me. I just want to pay it back because, because I've just had like people come into my life and do things for me, Would I have been able to buy my kids shoes and school supplies? Yeah. Would it have been a struggle? Yeah. But it was just, that was a big relief. That was a burden off of me. That was a couple of shifts that I didn't have to pick up at the restaurant because, of these sweet people who were older and didn't have to, their kids were grown, so they didn't have to worry about back to school anymore. So, and I still remember them doing that for me, and I will always. And so that's one of the reasons why I try to give back, is because so many people have, given to me and my kids. So, but anyway, so I am sure if you have Netflix, or if you've just been listening around, I am sure a lot of you have heard about this docuseries, Most Hated Man on the Internet. Who of you have heard about that? Just raise your hand. Throw something in the chat. Yes, no. 100 more. Most Hated Man on the Internet. No one has Netflix. No. Okay, so Hunter Moore had a website. I can't think of the name of the website now. All words are jumbling in my head, so I'm not even going to try to come up. I've heard of it, not seen it. Well, I can go ahead and tell you, Sarah, knowing your personality, girl, you would be fighting mad. You would be fighting mad. You would probably be trying to find this man and fight him. I know you would. So this man in like the early 2000s, when like, you know, phones and the internet and taking nudes and sending them to people and stuff, like, I think we're all of the age where we can like remember that. Do y'all remember when you got your first phone that took pictures? I remember when I got my first phone that took pictures, because I just had my first child. So I was so happy because I could take pictures of him and send it to people. Well, some people were taking pictures of other things and sending them to people. And so this man started a website where you could anonymously, having such a hard time speaking, anonymously submit pictures, dirty pictures of people onto this website. It gets a little bit juicier. To find out they were hacking into people's accounts and getting pictures. So some of the pictures were not even being submitted by other people. They were being hacked and put on there. One of my girlfriends that watched this couldn't even get through the docuseries. She said she couldn't even make it through the first episode because she was so disgusted and got so mad. I made it through 2 of them, and then I fell asleep because I only watch TV at night before I go to bed. So that's the reason. I'm going to watch the last one because apparently the last episode is mainly about him, whereas the first episode is about one of the victims and her mother. The mother fought hard, not just for her daughter, but for the other victims, because she got her daughter's picture taken down. Not only would they post the picture, they would post all of the victims' information, like their social media, like they would dox them, I guess is the correct terminology. Their address, their phone number, all their social media. So, you know, at the time, I guess Facebook and, yeah. I couldn't imagine. At first, I was like, well, you know, you send your nude to somebody, you know, bad things are going to happen. But then when I found out, like, these girls hadn't even sent them to anybody, like, they had took pictures of themselves and then sent the pictures to their emails for safekeeping, or because the storage on their phone was full or whatever. So they hadn't even sent them anywhere. They were they were storing them themselves, and someone hacked into their account and got them. It was like, what an invasion of privacy, and scary that someone could get into your stuff. It was, but if you haven't watched this, and I know a lot of talk about, you know, cybersecurity, cyberbullying, all that's been going. I've been hearing a lot of talk about that lately. But yeah, so I watched that, and I would highly recommend anyone, if you have Netflix, to watch it. It's good. It's a good watch. But like I said, it's probably going to make you angry. It's probably going to make you have some feelings. But this mother fought hard. She fought hard. And as mothers, that's what we tend to do. And I don't think we ever stop advocating for our children. I don't think we do. And I don't think we I don't think we should. I think at a point, yes, you let your children handle their problems, but it's a really good story. I think it's a really good story about what can happen, about how once things are out there on the internet, they stay out there, about how people see them, about people's reputations, and how the internet can affect your reputation. And so, yeah, I would encourage people to watch it. If you have, older teenagers, it would encourage you maybe not to watch it with them, because there is, obviously nudity and stuff in it, but like just maybe share the story with them. But yeah, I've also been watching on Netflix. I am a killer, I believe it is. Because the third season of it is coming out August 30th. And so they've kind of been dragging on the seasons. I guess it probably takes a long time to do these documentaries, because I think the first season came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And so just from the title, you're like, oh, it's going, when I started watching it, I was like, oh, it's just going to tell about the, what they did, and but it's not. It's, it gives you their story. And I say this a lot. There's a book called What Happened to You by Dr. Bruce Perry and Oprah. I love Oprah. But Dr. Bruce Perry, if you're interested in psychology, or if you happen to have PTSD, or someone who does, he's brilliant. He's done TED Talks. He's just done seminars. He worked with the children that came out of Waco. He's worked with veterans, just tons of people. He also wrote a book called The Boy That Was Raised by Dogs, I believe it's called. I read that book also. But I think often, we're like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with this person? Like, what, instead of like, what happened to you? Like, what happened to you? And I watched one the night before. And so it says in the intro, 8,000 people a year are convicted of murder in the U.S. Less than 10% of those are women. The one that I watched the night before was of a young lady. She had been sexually abused from like preteen several times by different boys in her neighborhood. She got into a situation where this gentleman was trying to rape her, and she shot him. And then her public defender didn't ever bring up her sexual molestation in her defense. And if you don't know, when you go to plead, if you don't plead out and you demand or ask for a trial, then you risk. So they offered her murder 2, as opposed to and so she has the chance for parole, as opposed to if she had went to trial, and found guilty, she would have gotten murder 1, which would have been no chance, life in prison with no chance of parole. So, and that's the way our judicial system is set up, where if you don't plead out and you ask for a trial, you get the most severe punishment. And I don't know if, good morning, Miss Terry. Good morning, how are you doing? And I don't know if a lot of people realize that, if they've never been in trouble with the law or had a family member that was in trouble with the law. And it's their job to prove that you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, but you kind of get punished in a way for asking for your right for a trial, right? And then also, it's your job to come up with the money to hire an attorney to defend you adequately. Or if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you, right? We all know that. So a public defender is appointed to you. So what I've realized, or not realized, I already knew, but what is pointed out in watching these is that the public defenders have tons of cases, right? Well, the public defenders don't have the money or the resources to go out and do the investigations to come up with defenses for these clients. And so in the case that I watched last night, same thing. The man had been abused his whole life. Like, this man had been, like, really abused, like, severely abused. And he ended up murdering his adoptive grandparents. But also, his public defender never brought up his childhood story, his abuse, and when his foster mother from in the past, good morning, Spirit Kitty, how are you doing? When someone asked his public defender, why didn't you bring this up? They just blew her off. So it's very interesting, not just to hear their side of the story, but it just gives you instead of making you think, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you murder someone? Like, what pushed you, what made you do that? What pushed you to this? Like, what happened to you? And it tells you, it gives you a little insight as to what happened to them previously to them committing the crime. Good to hear you're doing well, Spirit Kitty. Good. We're just talking about some things I've been watching on Netflix. Have you watched The Most Hated Man on the internet? Right now, I'm talking about I Am a Killer. The 3rd season is coming out August 30th. And so I'm just kind of discussing some episodes that I've watched. So it's just kind of eye-opening how the judicial system works. And I'm by no means saying that these people shouldn't pay for their crimes, because obviously they committed these crimes. And so far, I watched the 1st season a long time ago. None of these people are saying that they didn't commit these crimes. I've not watched an interview yet where they are trying to say that they didn't commit the murders. There was a man that was his brother-in-law was like selling drugs, and he helped kill and dispose of two. It's fascinating. It's fascinating if you're into like the true crime thing and stuff, but it's just an insight into the killer's mind and into like what led them to that point. But then it also gives you an insight into what goes into prosecuting these people. As you know, like I watch a lot of court TV, and I haven't really been currently watching any cases, and just hadn't seen anything come up that's grabbed my interest. But have always been very interested in the judicial system and how our laws work and stuff. So I don't know if any of you, and you definitely don't have to share this here, have family members in the system, or if you have family members that have ever had to defend themselves in the court of law, or maybe you have a family member that was a victim, and so you were on the other side. But it's very interesting, and I think a lot of people don't really understand exactly how the law works. And we think it works one way, of like, you know, what we're told, but I don't really think people know the ins and outs unless they have been through it. The same thing goes with juvenile court, child custody cases, divorce, that kind of thing. So unless you or a family member has actually been through it, but it just gives you some insight. It just gives you some insight on what these people have been through and how the system works. And I just always encourage people to educate themselves, and you know, and it may spark something in you that, you know, maybe you're like, hey, you know, this is something that I want to be a part of, you know, working a change for the judicial system. These people were not trying to say that they were innocent at all. They were just saying that they feel like if their past abuse had been brought up, maybe they would have gotten a little bit of leniency, I guess, towards their case. So, I don't know. Does anybody have anything to add to that? Or so? Spirit Kitty said, no, at first thought you were talking about the Vaughn McCrae craziness. No. I have briefly been watching like Molly Golightly yesterday about that. And so I've kind of caught bits and parts of that, but not enough to really speak on that. Have you been following that? Do you have any thoughts that you would like to share on that? It does sound like craziness. It does sound like craziness. I'm interested in any thoughts anyone has to say about any of this. Yeah, it does sound really really unbelievable. Sarah says she hasn't been following it. Yeah. It's you know, like I said, I don't think, and you know, why would people know how the judicial system works unless you've ever had to go through it, or you've had a family member that's been through it, or a friend. Spirit Kitty says, I keep seeing different things on both sides. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know all the facts about that case. So her husband's in the hospital. I guess that she kept her family on a very strict diet, and her husband got ill. Not sure if he had other conditions. Yeah, I've just been popping in and out. And I know that yesterday was some kind of motion or something for court, but they couldn't find her to serve her. So I think it's been rescheduled or something. Oh, she was medicating him with K. I heard something about that. Now, was that like supposed to be for medicinal reasons, or okay, on a doctor somebody diet, and that diet like recommends you take K? Yeah, I heard, like I said, I watched Molly Go Lightly a little bit, but not for hours and hours. Just, and supposedly the kids too. I did hear that. I did hear them talking about the kids. I did hear them talking about the kids and whether the kids were in danger. And I heard them talking about the diet a lot and the not feeding them protein and stuff. So, and then her not wanting his parents to see him. No, she researched that herself. Okay. Yeah, I did hear them say something about, she was like, I guess she was on some social media platform, and that he was having seizures, had 8 in one day. She recorded it. Yeah, that's what they were saying, that she was on social media and that she was saying just because things weren't FDA approved, that she still wanted to take it. And I guess she was telling other people to take things that weren't FDA approved, maybe, allegedly. I don't know. I mean, personally, if I seen somebody having a seizure, I would call 911. I wouldn't record it. And I actually had a friend that had a seizure, and that was the scariest thing. I mean, I guess technically it wasn't a seizure. She just passed out, but I called 911. That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so scary. She didn't have any previous medical conditions. She had never had a seizure before. And like I said, they said it wasn't an actual seizure once she got checked out and stuff, but it was so scary. It was so scary. So I couldn't imagine recording somebody while they had 8 in one day. K is known to cause seizures. She kept giving it, saying it was not the cause. Okay, when you say K, I guess that's ketamine, right? Is that how you say it? Like Special K, like the drug people take to party? Put black pepper in his mouth for seizure. What? Is that supposed to stop seizures? That sounds like some kind of wives' tale. Obtained Ativan and something else from Kratom. Oh, Kratom, not Special K. K for Kratom. Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that either. But Kratom's legal, right? Because I see it on, like, stores. Like the CBD herb shops and stuff. I see Kratom, but I don't know what that is. I mean, I've heard people talk about it, but I don't know what it is. But I guess it's legal. Spirit Kitty's giving us the 411 this morning, y'all. Yeah, it's legal, but I don't trust it. What's in it? What's in kratom? See, this is why people don't want to hang out with me, because I ask too many questions. I don't want to do stuff that I don't know what's in it. I have a funny story. I mean, it's probably not that funny, but so I worked in restaurants, and I was usually there's a lot of young people that work in restaurants, right? So I was closing with this girl one night, and I didn't have my kids when I got off. They were like both spending the night with their dads or something. They look like skeletons, Spirit Kitty said. Look at their before and after weight loss. Even one kid lost 10 to 20 pounds. Yeah, because she wasn't feeding them, right? Like they were like on some kind of diet where she was just like feeding them like no protein, like vegan or vegetarian or something. No carbs. So this other waitress server that I was working with was like, do you want to do Molly when we get off? Or something about Molly. I didn't know what Molly was. And we worked with a girl named Molly. And so she says avocados, mangoes, and some kind of seeds. Well, I like avocados and mangoes, and I guess seeds, but I'm going to need something more than that. I like a little bacon with my avocado. Sarah's laughing already. Yeah, you know where this story's going, right, Sarah? So she says, do you want to do some Molly when we get off? And so, we're like doing our, our clothes and stuff or whatever. And so I'm like, do you want to go to the bar with Molly? And she's like, I mean, we can go to the bar. Because our friend Molly, I think, like also bartended at the bar at the street or whatever, and valerian and some kind of flower herbs. Oh, yeah, that's. So she's just like, at some point, I'm like, okay, I don't know what this girl's talking about. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, Molly. She's like, you don't know what Molly is? And I'm like, I don't know what Molly is. And yeah, so I say, well, what's in it? I'm like, what's Molly made of? And so she starts telling me, but she's like, doesn't really know. And I'm like, passion flower herbs. Yeah, that doesn't sound any more appealing. The passion flower herbs doesn't sound any more appealing. So yeah, so she starts telling me like, oh, it's a little of this, and then she's like, it's kind of like ecstasy. And I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I was like, it doesn't sound like something I would be interested in. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm old. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. No. I don't, yeah, so I didn't do Molly, and she never asked me to go party again. No, and she probably went and told all the other young people at the restaurant that I was stupid and didn't know what Molly was. But I didn't. I really didn't. I'd never heard of it. This was like in the early 2000s. But I did know what ecstasy was when she said it's kind of like ecstasy. I was like, okay, I know what ecstasy is, and I know that I'm not interested in participating in that. Because I had done ecstasy once in the 90s. And so, yeah. But I was like, no. I was like, I don't want to do something that we don't know exactly what's in it. I was like, that doesn't sound like something that I would like to participate in. Thanks, though. She doesn't know, well, that's scary. I'm not into the new age drugs. I smoke pot. Thanks, Skyzy. Yeah. I just like imagined like some college kid like playing with a chemistry set, and that did not sit well with me. And although I do not condone people taking pills, if someone does give you a pill or whatever, like you can look that up in a book. I say a book. The internet. That shows my age too, right? But you know what you're getting. Like you can verify that, right? Like this looks like this. Like you can verify that, what you're getting. Like I don't want to take something that I can't verify what's in it. Right? Heck no. Like, No. No, thank you. No. And my mother, God rest her soul, her advice, she was a hippie through and through. Her advice to me was if you're at a party and somebody's smoking something, and this is not good advice, okay? This is not good advice. But my mother's advice was if you didn't roll it, make sure they hit it first. That is not good advice. That is not good advice, Mom, because they might be willing to smoke something that you are not willing to smoke. So that is not good advice either. I learned that the hard way. They might be willing to smoke something that you're not. But yeah. So how about don't ever smoke something you didn't watch them roll? But yeah. If it don't smell right. But yeah. The kratom, not Molly. Okay, yeah. No. I'm simple. Some of my family took it for help cravings from drugs in the beginning of their getting off drugs. Others used it for pain. Yes, it's legal. Help them, so didn't question it because it's legal. Yeah. Yeah, alcohol's legal, but some people shouldn't do it. You know. Jack Honey's legal. I shouldn't do it. I don't do it. No, I don't drink Jack Honey anymore because things get out of control. You know, two Hyundai SUVs later, and you know, I learned my lesson. No Jack. You know, sometimes we have to learn our lessons the hard way. But yeah, this whole McVeigh case or whatever it sounds, and then didn't really catch the thing, but was she upset because of what YouTubers were covering her case? Spirit Kitty, do you know about that? Because I've heard something about that. Thank you, Skyzy. Thank you. Was she, because I heard something about that, like she didn't like who was covering her case, like she wanted bigger YouTubers, and then like she was trying to say Molly Golightly had embezzled money from the FBI when she has never worked for the FBI. Cosmic Crazy says, love your mom's thoughts because I've never seen people spike their joints. Yes, true, which I feel drinking is way worse than smoking, but I'm a stoner. Right. Yeah. I've never done things that I regretted because of smoking. I have done lots of things that I regretted because of drinking. And that's just me. And if you have done differently, then that's you. I mean, I know a lot of people who you know, who can't smoke or don't like smoking or whatever. And now it's legal in a lot of states. And I think that that's awesome. And of course, you should never drive if you're under the influence of anything or operate heavy machinery. And sometimes heavy machinery can be the microwave or the stove or the popcorn popper. Oh, yeah, and supposedly Dre sent police to Molly's house. Really? For what? Agree. Ganja over alcohol. Oh, amen, sister. For me, embarrassing, yes, but I don't regret one single thing because it made me who I am in this moment. Well, that's true. That's true. I think I could have done without some of those moments, though, Sky Z. I think I could have done without some of those moments. Yeah. I think some of those moments I don't even remember. But I've heard from others, and I believe them. I quit drinking liquor because it is spirits and not good for spiritual awakening. I think that's true. I actually, after I had my last incident because of alcohol, actually started on a really, really serious journey. And it really did change. It really did change me. And that was in 2015. And because I was so disappointed in myself, because I could have killed somebody, and I could have killed a child. And that just crushed me. It crushed me. It really did. That probably was, they say that like you hit rock bottom. That was rock bottom. That was rock bottom for me. And looking back, I could see how I was spiraling. And I know those around me had to have seen me spiraling, and no one said anything to me. No one ever was like, hey, you must be in a lot of pain, because it's not like you to, because I wasn't a drinker. I wasn't a drinker, and I just, I was going through stuff, and I was obviously drinking to numb the pain, because I wasn't a drinker. Like, I had never been a drinker. I had drank before, but like socially. But yeah, I was really upset. I was really upset with myself, and it was a really hard time. And I was really disappointed in myself and in the people around me, that nobody had called me out on my bullshit. And actually, one of my good friends that was with me that night, he was actually like a full-blown alcoholic, and he quit drinking, and he's still sober to this day. So I know for a fact it saved his life, and it definitely changed mine. So both of our lives are completely different now. Completely different. And he, like, his life, just a complete 360, 180, whatever, is the same. Molly said the police said Vaughn was in the hospital and couldn't have visitors, but I call BS. Why would they tell her? She felt Molly was causing her to be harassed. Me too. I try not to regret things, use them as learning lessons. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so sorry. It's okay. That annoying friend who calls out my friends if I see them acting not in their normal behaviors. Thank you, Cosmic Crazy. See, I'm that friend too. And I tell people, like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't care what you did. The people that I don't care about, I don't care what they do. If I care about you, then I am going to want the best for you. And I tell people that when I kind of start becoming their friend. I'm like, hey, you know, I'm that annoying friend. Like, but if I don't care about you, I don't care what you do. And I think that's what being a friend's about. Like, if I'm your friend, like, I want you to tell me when I don't do something right, or like, hey, that's, you know, that's not, you know, that's not like you, or you could have done this better, or, you know what I mean? Like, not be a B to me, but I don't know. I feel like the people that really loved me and really knew me could have called me out. And I look back and I see a lot of times that I was like crying out to them and they were just kind of ignoring me. But I know everyone has their own lives and their own, you know, their own problems and their own things going on. There's a reason you did it, to save him and you. Yeah, I believe that. I've been worried about my friends drinking since we were teens. Her brother passed away this past New Year, and she decided to quit drinking not long after. Well, good for her. Good for her. I always start out, I come out of love. That's sweet. That's sweet. Yeah, me and a friend was talking about that, about how presentation is important, because me and her are both like really blunt people, and we just tell it like it is, and we forget that presentation is important. And, you know, like being a cook, you know, you want to make it pretty, and I forget that a lot of times in conversation and telling people things. And I actually wrote down a scripture that really touched my heart. I have scriptures like wrote on Post-it notes and taped to my desk, but this one I really felt like I do devotionals, you know, in the morning. I really felt like this one was made for me. Hey, Jenny Lee, I made you a mod so you could drop the link to your channel in the chat whenever you come in, sweetie. It says that your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. And I just felt like that was made for me. I felt like that was made for me, because I forget to season my words with salt. I forget that salt, y'all. I forget. I forget. I just say it. And I forget to put that salt on it. I season my food, but I forget to put the salt on my words. So the friend you were speaking of, is she the one you stay with sometimes? The friend I speak of, no. Her sister. Her sister is the one that I'm talking about. I was talking to her about, me and her are both very blunt. And she's the one that told me that I need to make it pretty and put a bow on it. And I don't like to make things pretty. I don't like to play mind games with people. I just feel like if I know you and you know me, then I can just be honest with you and tell you how I feel. But I forget that sometimes when people are hurting or they're in a bad place, that they need it to be pretty or they need it to be seasoned with salt. So I'm bad at that too. I'm the worst at sugarcoating things. Yeah. I don't sugarcoat things. And I guess some people need it to be sugar-coated. Yeah. Some people need it to be sugar-coated. I guess I'm afraid if I sugarcoat it, they won't get the meaning or get what I'm trying to say. Jenny Lee says, I'm not putting a bow on things and can understand all sides, but I cannot season anything with salt. Yeah. I don't know. I've found as I've gotten older that maybe I'm not as good of a friend as I thought I was. That maybe I have come to realize that I am judgmental. I'm judgmental. And maybe that's why my friends don't want to tell me things, because I'm judgmental. And, or I come across as judgmental, whereas I think I'm coming from a place of love. And maybe they don't feel that. Maybe they don't feel like I'm coming from a place of love. Maybe they feel like I'm coming from a place of judgment. And who wants to be judged? Who wants to be judged when you're feeling down? I don't. I don't want to feel judged. Spirit Kitty says, love salt. Accent too. Use adder as well. My wife, mom, calls salt white death. Right, with Mrs. Dash. We got Mrs. Dash. I mean, or any kind of seasoning. Jenny says, I cannot worry about who can take things and who cannot. We are all flawed as F, and I'm a very honest person, and sometimes can seem I'm being judgmental, but if I care, I'm going to tell you. Yes, that's what we were just saying. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't care what you did. And I guess that's one of the issues that is one of the things I have an issue with is like, stop asking for advice if you're not going to take it. If you're not going to take advice, Jenny says, then I'm going to pick you up. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that I'm going to pick you up. Yeah. Himalayan pink salt. Yes, Spirit Kitty. Do you know who has like a huge selection of all the Himalayan pink salt, or at least they do down here, the Big Lots. I don't know if they got like some kind of discount or buyout, but they had like a whole aisle of different products of Himalayan pink salt the last time we went. I thought it was just kind of odd. But I guess my biggest issue is like people that are constantly asking for advice, like, what should I do? What should I do? Give me constructive criticism. What should I do? And then they don't take it. Like, just be like, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to ride it till the wheels fall off. Don't ask people what they think and what you should do and then not ever do it. Be honest and be like, what should I do? Tell me what you think I should do so I can do the complete opposite. Then hear that good friend, Jenny, what I look for in a good friend. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, Spirit Kitty. Oh, like who knew? Oh, I don't know. I don't know why Big Lots has it, but they do. Yeah, I mean everybody, and it's like you can't take advice from everybody because like who wants to take advice from somebody whose life is all jacked up, right? Like some people who give you advice, you just have to like take it with a grain of Himalayan salt. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, those people that like truly know you and who are coming from a place, you know, from a good place. I was watching this woman, I think her name is Lisa Harper, this week. She is hilarious. She is hilarious. She has got the best sense of humor. She's a speaker. She's a Christian speaker. But she gets her biblical point across, but she tells a lot of stories and she makes a lot of, you know, a lot of current day references, and I just adore her. But she was talking about how, you know, this woman seemingly was coming from a good place, but it wasn't really. And Jenny Lee says, I try to be because I've had the worst friends. Yes. Then yes. I think, yes, we can relate. And that's what she was telling the story about, how she was in had a small, you know, group at church, you know, like small connect group of like 4 women. Cosmic Crazy says, truth spoken here. If you don't want the truth, don't ask. Most of us see. Right? So they had a small connect group, and Lisa had shared with them that adoption had been laid on her heart. She's like a single 40, 50-year-old woman, okay? And she had went to this conference, and the woman was talking about adoption and how they're, you know, fostering children, all this. And so she had been praying about it and had asked these women to help her pray about, you know, adoption had been laid on her heart. So this woman said, I need to speak to you privately. Can we go to coffee? So they went to coffee, and the woman told her, I don't think you should adopt. I don't even think you should think anymore about adopting because you had been molested as a child. So I don't think you would make a good mother. I think you need to go adopt a dog. And her only reasoning for this was because this woman had been molested as a child. That was her only reason, was because this woman had been molested as a child. She thought this woman would not make a good mother. So do you think this woman was coming from a place of love to tell her friend that? And she suggested the woman go adopt a dog. So the woman, Lisa, who's telling the story, thinking that this woman, her friend, was coming from a place of love, went and adopted a dog, put the adoption application in the back of her, you know, cabinet, her file, and it was 7 more years before she considered adoption again. Because of something this woman had told her, a friend. And then after 7 years, and she said she adopted this wonderful lab that had bladder issues and, you know, whatever. And then after the 7 years, you know, it was still on her heart to adopt a kid. After 7 years, she got the adoption application out. She ended up adopting a daughter from Haiti. And, she, you know, it's wonderful, but because of what this woman said to her, and because of that reason, I thought that was horrible, because this woman had been molested. She shouldn't be a mother, because she might put that on her. And the woman had been to counseling because of, you know, she had dealt with that. That was not her fault. What a horrible thing to say to someone. I don't think you should be a mother. because you have been molested because of someone else's actions towards you? I thought that story tore me up. Like when she was telling me, I was like, this woman's going to say, I don't think you should be a mother because you're single or because, something like that. But when she said it was because of that, I was just awestruck. Jenny says it's absolutely horrible and that's a hateful person. Yes. Cosmic Crazy says, okay, that is so wrong. They make the best moms. Ugh, people are so cruel. Yeah. I don't think she seasoned her words with salt, did she? I don't know. I was just wondering, did that woman think obviously she thought she was doing the right thing, but I think she should have thought about that a little bit longer. Because, and the woman was saying, she believed that the girl that she ended up adopting, was made for her, but how many kids, needed her help in between that? She's older. She might have adopted 2-3 kids. If she had adopted 7 years ago, she could have adopted a kid and then still gotten the daughter that she ended up with. If that woman hadn't have said that. You just don't know. You never know what lasting effect your words are going to have on somebody. It always surprises me the things that people tell me they remember that I have said to them. It does. And sometimes it's really silly things. It's just, one of my friends is like, you told me when we were in our 20s, I told her you can't reuse home hair dye. On the box, it says you can't reuse it because once you put it in the container and shake it up, if you leave it sitting, it says that there is a chance that it could be combustible. So now I told her this when we were in our 20s. I said, that's why they say you can't save it and use the rest that's left in the bottle later, that you have to dispose of it. So I told her this when we were in our 20s. So not too long ago, she was dyeing her hair and she texts me and she says, to this day, I still remember you telling me that if I don't throw away the hair dye, it's going to explode. And so every time I dye my hair, I take the bottle and throw it in the outside trash because I'm afraid it's going to explode. I was like, seriously? I said, out of all the things that I've shared with you, that's what you remember. Okay. All right now. I was like, that's not exactly what I meant, but okay. Another friend of mine, and it just, that just reiterates, you never know what people are going to remember. Another friend of mine, I guess I had told her, she could never, we had this private college, where we lived, and she had been to 1,000,001 junior colleges and just to all the places. Me and her both had, my dad used to say, you have been to some of the best community colleges the state of Tennessee has to offer. My dad was not a big supporter of education. My mom was. My dad's advice was, you better marry a mechanic, which meant he didn't want to fix my car. But anyway, I guess at some point I had told my friend that she couldn't get into this college. So me and her, there was a period of time where, we had lost touch or whatever. So she went to this college, applied to this college, and went to this college for one semester just because I told her she couldn't. Just because I told her she couldn't get into this college. It was like way, way expensive. Like, I don't even know what she majored in when she went there. She just went for one semester just because I told her you couldn't get in. Now, she did go on to transfer to Phoenix University and ended up graduating with a bachelor's in psychology. And I'm so proud of her. She graduated the year that she turned 40, like after her husband died. And I've never been so proud of somebody for graduating college. But yeah, but I was just like, when we reconnected and she said, you know what? She said, you told me that I would never get into so-and-so. And she's like, I went there. I was like, what? She was like, yeah. And I didn't even remember saying that. So, like, you never know. Never know. Cosmic Crady says, okay, that is so wrong. They made the best. Yeah. Sorry, I'd already said that comment. Yeah, so, like, you never, ever know what you say, what kind of lasting effect is going to have on someone. It's just, so that always, you know, that's kind of, like, stuck with me. It's stuck with me. And I have several things that, you know, that I remember that people have said to me, and they probably have no idea. They probably have no idea. I know they don't. They don't remember saying it because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't necessarily anything important to them, but it was important to me, and I remember. So, but anyway, we have been on here for almost 2 hours. I have got to go bake 3 lasagnas. I already have them made, as y'all seen on IG yesterday. I assembled 6 lasagnas yesterday. Oof. Never made that many lasagnas at one time. I baked 3 of them yesterday and put them in the freezer. And then I'm going to bake 3 today and deliver them. So I'm going to get off here. And I'm going to go do that. And I thank you all for joining me so much. Thank you all. Thank you all for the comments and hitting the like and subscribe and all the things. And if you watched the replay and you made it this far, I thank you so much. Y'all are all wonderful. I really do appreciate all the support. Aw, thank you for the sunflowers, MTT. Hope everybody has a wonderful day and get out there and try to find some sunflowers if you can. Let me tell y'all, I have some daisies, and if those daisies bloom, goodness, I'm going to be over the moon. I'm going to be unstoppable. Y'all are gonna see me on IG. I'm gonna be selfie queen. Cindy, the selfie queen, is gonna have to change her name because it's gonna be Queen, selfie queen. I don't know, Queen of O'Hara, selfie queen. I don't know, but I'm gonna be out there with the sunflowers and the daisies, and I don't know. I might have to hire a photographer. I don't know, y'all. Stay tuned.